Welcome to the English Matura with JB podcast. You know, we often wonder, what are the true limits of what a person can handle? Well, today, we're diving into an absolutely incredible story. It's a story of survival, yeah, but it's also about a deep truth, a strength that's hidden inside all of us. We're going to talk about a man who faced one of history's darkest chapters and somehow emerged unbroken. This story is about a man named Martin Niemöller, a German pastor. And the setting? It's one of the darkest places imaginable, the Dachau concentration camp during the Nazi regime. He went through things we can barely even think about, but his spirit, it didn't break. So the big question is, how? How is that even possible? That's exactly what we're going to get into. So who was this guy, Martin Niemöller? See, before he was a prisoner, he was actually a really respected figure in Germany. He wasn't born an activist or a victim. He was just a man of principle who made a choice, a really brave choice, to speak out. His life story is pretty incredible, actually. Get this. In World War I, he was a decorated submarine commander, a war hero. Then, after the war, he completely changes paths and becomes a respected Lutheran pastor. But then, the Nazis came to power. And that's when his principles were truly tested. He had a choice, stay quiet or speak out. And he chose to speak out. From his own pulpit, he started condemning the regime. And well, that courageous choice led directly to his arrest in 1937. And speaking truth to power like that, well, it came with a heavy, heavy price. His arrest wasn't just a slap on the wrist. It was the start of a long, terrifying ordeal. A true test of his spirit that would just go on and on for years. 7 years. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how long he spent locked away in concentration camps, first in Sachsenhausen and then in the infamous Dachau. I mean, can you even imagine? 7 years of living through those brutal conditions. And if you think 7 years is unimaginable, listen to this. Out of those 7 years, there's another number that's just chilling. 3. 3 of those years were spent in solitary confinement. All alone, no human touch, no voice to talk to, just you, the silence, and constant, unrelenting fear. The kind of psychological pressure is almost impossible for us to even wrap our heads around. Okay, so the war finally ends, and Niemöller is freed. And people just couldn't believe it. Not just that he was alive, but that his mind was still intact. Sometime later, an interviewer asked him a question that led to one of the most powerful insights you'll ever hear. This is the question they asked him. And really, it's the question on all of our minds, isn't it? How could anyone possibly go through all that, the suffering, the isolation, and not completely lose their sanity? His answer, well, it's the very heart of our story today. And his reply was so simple, but so incredibly powerful. He said, "A person does not realize how much he can stand until he is put to the test. You can stand far more than you think you can." You see, his point wasn't just, oh, people are strong. It was that we have no idea how strong we really are. We completely underestimate ourselves. We all have this hidden reserve of strength inside us, and we don't even know it's there until life's biggest challenges force us to find it. So what does his story really teach us? What Niemöller went through, it points to this universal truth about human resilience. His words aren't just about his own story. They're about you. They're about me. They're about a potential that's just sitting there, dormant, inside every single one of us. You know, we all have this story in our heads about our own fragility, right? A line we think we can't cross without breaking. We tell ourselves, oh, I could never handle that. But what Niemöller's experience screams at us is that that story is often wrong. Deep down, beneath our own perceived limits, there's this quiet, stubborn part of us that just refuses to give up. So what is this strength? What are we really talking about here? It's definitely not about being fearless. I mean, come on, Niemöller was probably terrified every single day. No, it's something else. It's endurance. It's that quiet, internal decision to just hold on for one more day. And you don't find this kind of resilience when things are easy. It's forged like steel in the fire of hardship. It's a core inside of us that might bend under pressure, but it just refuses to break. And this is the core message for you, for me, for all of us. You have this power inside you right now. You might not feel it, you might not even believe it, but it's there. A deep reserve of what's been called holding power. That simple, profound ability to just hold on. So let's wrap this up with one final thought. This resilience we're talking about, it isn't loud or dramatic. It lives quietly inside of us. It's more of a whisper than a shout. And often, it's only in our most difficult, most challenging moments that we finally get quiet enough to actually hear its voice. So I'll leave you with this question to reflect on. Based on Martin Niemöller's incredible story, what hidden strengths, what reserves of holding power might be waiting inside of you, ready for the moment you need them most? Think about that.